Hi and welcome back to Bounce Forward with me, Tiff Hall. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which I'm recording this podcast, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to elders, past and present. Today's episode is all about women and the older we get and those hot flushes. Sam reached out to me. How to manage perimenopause and the joys associated with this, such as abdo weight gain, bloating, lack of sleep, exercising with hot flushes. Oh, this is a huge question. The joys of peri, tummy weight gain, insomnia, hot flushes, all a nightmare and everything I have to look forward to. I turned 40 this year. I enter my era of peri and I am just so not looking forward to it. But the good news is there's a lot you can do with massive payoffs to really help. Research shows that perimenopausal period is the best time to adapt your training to prevent unwanted menopausal metabolism and body composition changes. So now is the time to take action if you're peri. Dr. Stacey Sims, who is an international exercise physiologist and nutrition scientist who aims to revolutionize exercise nutrition and performance for women, is an absolute legend at guiding women through peri and menopause and says the key to surviving all those hot flushes, the bad sleepless nights, the weight gain, it's simple. All you need to do is lift heavy shit. And that has always stuck with me, Stacey. And I've interviewed Stacey on this podcast. I have a fantastic episode. I can link it in the show notes. Lift heavy shit. So simple. It's never too late and the payoffs are huge. Upping intensity will improve strength, power, body composition, metabolism, and performance. And I'll take you through a few really good benefits of strength training. So you've got your bone health. Resistance training can help to combat the loss of bone density. Muscle mass. As women age, right? From the age of 30, you are losing 3 to 8% muscle mass per decade from the age of 30. And this rate of decline is even higher after the age of 60. So you want to keep that muscle mass with strength training. You increase your metabolic rate. It's great for your mood and your mental health. And you know that symptoms of depression, anxiety, improving mood is really important in peri. And then you've got hormonal imbalance. You know, it really helps to balance those beautiful hormones, level them out, which is great during perimenopause when you're fluctuating so much. Heart health and sleep quality. Insomnia is one of the worst side effects, and all my friends have reached out to me. I'm in perimenopause, I'm not sleeping. Tiff, what do I do? So it's important to remember that while lifting heavy weights can be beneficial, it's also crucial to have proper form and good technique to prevent injuries. So working with a knowledgeable trainer, an online trainer, a physio perhaps, will really help you. One of Stacey's important messages that also resonated with me was that women are not small men, highlighting that we need to look at the sports science and study and address female-specific responses to exercise, nutrition and recovery. And I love this. She's all about training around your cycle and really tapping into your hormones. She's just a huge believer that if you do nothing else, you have to lift the heavy shit, right? She says muscle cell studies show that when researchers take estrogen away from animals, their ability to regenerate muscle stem cells can drop 30 to 60%. Muscle biopsies in women during menopause transition show the same thing. 30 to 60% drop. So that's crazy. And resistance training that includes heavy lifting stimulates those cells and helps you maintain that muscle. So ideally you should be lifting about 3 days a week. Aim for 3 to 5 sets of 6 or fewer reps. And you want to be doing big lifts that use lots of muscles, major muscles, and really get all the connective tissues and joints involved, like Olympic lifts, lunges, squats, deadlifts. These are your big, good lifts, right? The other thing that is recommended in perimenopause to really help offset hormonal fluctuations is interval training, short bursts of 10 to 30 second efforts for fat-burning metabolism. Now, when you extend the intervals past 60 seconds, you can get greater increases in the stress hormone cortisol, and cortisol is actually good for a surge of energy. But you don't want that stress hormone levels to stay elevated longer than necessary to get the job done, especially in menopause when cortisol can already be elevated. So with sprint intervals, you still get the benefits of improved insulin sensitivity, stronger mitochondria, improved fat burning, and an ever important boost of growth hormone. Tabatas here are a favourite. I love a Tabata, and the way they work is you go hard for 20 seconds and then you get a beautiful 10-second rest. You repeat this 6 to 8 times and you may aim to do 3 rounds of that. On a nutritional note, perimenopausal women need to prioritise protein. Now, this is so important. Active women should aim for at least 1.8 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram a day. So that's about 30 grams at each meal and 15 to 20 grams with snacks. In a new concept paper, researchers from the University of Sydney's Charles Perkins Centre propose that body's appetite for protein increases during perimenopause due to hormonally induced tissue protein breakdown. But if protein requirements aren't met, women then overconsume fats and carbs, which then changes their body composition, makes them really unhappy. So they call this the protein leverage effect. This essentially means that without increasing the proportion of protein in the diet, the body's drive to reach its target of protein intake will then make us eat calories in other areas. So to make matters worse, levels of energy expenditure tend to fall also in menopause. So you exercise less, you do less movement, and then the researchers found that you're eating less protein, you're moving less, you're losing muscle, and at the end of the day, that's why you gain so much weight in peri. So to combat that, you need to move, lift heavy shit, eat protein. It's pretty simple. And I have here my top 10 little protein boosting meals that I really love. Overnight oats made with Greek yogurt and milk and topped with nuts, seeds and fresh fruit. Yum. Number 2, scrambled eggs, spinach and smoked salmon served with whole grain toast. Bean burritos. 4, tofu stir fry with brown rice. Moroccan chicken with chickpeas. Yum. 6, whole wheat spaghetti with tomatoes, rocket chickpeas and feta. 7, oat pancakes served with Greek yogurt and honey. Baked beans on whole grain toast with cream cheese topping, a classic. 9, chicken and cashew nut whole wheat noodles stir fry. And 10, soy, mince and lentil bolognese. Yum. So look, lifting heavy shit, where to start? Hey, if you're walking into a gym, don't go up to a barbell and put on heaps of plates and just start doing a deadlift as heavy as you can, because you will hurt yourself. You do have to build up. And for me, lifting heavy shit is an 8 kilo dumbbell at the moment. That for me is pretty heavy. Sometimes I can do a 12.5, say, dumbbell snatch, and I'm pretty happy with that. But I'm talking what is heavy for you. A good weight is if you do like 10 reps of something and it's pretty easy, then you need to up the weights. If you can get to like 6 reps and then you start fatiguing, then the weight is pretty good for you, all right? So start there, and I do recommend getting a personal trainer. Honestly, getting the technique right, talking to them about weight selection, exercise selection, and you can do that in a number of ways. You can get an online trainer that you really trust. You can ask the gym that you go to for a program, and they take you through the program once, take you through the weights, show you how it works, and then you can do it on your own. But reach out for help. Don't just go cold turkey into the gym and lift heavy shit. You really do want to know what you're doing and protect yourself from injury. Thanks so much for listening to Bounce Forward. I love having your company, so please DM me on Instagram at tiffhall_XO and let me know your best questions. I'd love to cover them. Don't forget to rate and review me on your podcast app. Speak soon. Happy days.